Welcome
to Film Shapes,
the podcast.
Perfect.
Question. Very questioning.
I'm the CEO of a large company. And I have been Secretary of Defense. And I have been White House Chief of Staff. The Vice Presidency is a mostly symbolic job.
Welcome, guys. Roly, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Nice cuppa you made me, thank you.
No worries.
Merv, how you going?
Good, thank you.
Merv in body today, usually down the line, but here he is.
Oh, it's so much better.
Yeah, what do you think, Merv?
Oh, very good setup here.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, guys, today we're going to talk about Vice. Now, this is a dramatised docu-com biopic, I'm going to call it, about Dick Cheney.
What's the com?
Comedy,
Oh, of course.
if you wish.
If you found it funny. Yeah.
Oh, let's get to that. Now, Dick Cheney, the power behind George W. Bush's reign as president of the US. It's directed and written by Adam McKay and stars Christian Bale, Amy Adams, Steve Carell, Sam Rockwell, and a bunch of other people. What did you guys reckon? Merv, let's go to you first.
Two opinions. Performances, absolutely great. Believed it was Dick Cheney, and Adams as the wife were fantastic. Direction, a messed up piece of crap.
Oh, okay. Ooh. So you're splitting it into performance and direction, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Rolly?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a messed up piece of crap, but there's something about it that didn't quite work on the director/story level for me. The performances were great. Christian Bale. I mean, one thing I was wondering was about the Batman voice crossed with Dick Cheney. Oh. Like, you know, I found that quite interesting. I'm not sure that Dick Cheney actually speaks quite like, maybe there's something I can do.
Yeah, I think it
You know
is.
what I'm saying?
I've heard, have you seen that show?
He doesn't talk like that.
He does a bit.
But he does a bit.
Have you
but
seen...
it's like Christian Bale added the Batman as well.
Okay. At least not Bane. You know, the other guy in there.
Maybe we come to a separate arrangement.
That would have been funnier. I don't know. I've heard Cheney recently on that Who is America that Sacha Baron Cohen did. And I just wanted to listen again to see how close the voices were. Yeah, probably, I guess Bale makes it a bit bulkier. Can you do that with a voice? You know what I mean? Like, it's a bit bulky. It's a bit deeper even. Yeah.
Well, this is a question I wanted to ask about the performance. Firstly, what did you think of the performances in the movie?
No question. The performances are fantastic, but probably the prosthetics are better than the performances. Maybe it gives them a mask. Even Rockwell looked a bit like W. Bush. Oh, doorbell. Hang on a sec.
Who's
that?
I just don't like that style of comedy.
Jesus at the door.
Oh, Jesus came to the door. Yeah, I mean, I think the makeup and the prosthetics were the real winner here. The performances are great, but that helps a lot. If you're looking a bit like them, you can believe it. Do you remember the film Nixon?
Yeah.
That's an Oliver Stone film, and Anthony Hopkins played Nixon. Didn't look anything like him, but he performed it well. But, you know, I don't think he was anywhere near it. Whereas Frank Langella in Frost Nixon looked a bit more and sounded a bit more like this Nixon. Yeah, so I think it adds to it.
I was wondering if any of the performances you could see these performances as being quite over the top.
Rumsfeld.
You know,
Rumsfeld was way over the top.
He was great.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Carell, I reckon, is it fair to say he's an underrated actor?
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to get the accolades. I mean, didn't Christian Bale just win a
Golden Globe
for Best Comedic Actor, was it?
Yeah.
I guess
the Rumsfeld was as good as his...
But this is Carell's a comedian, so he
Yeah.
starts out in comedy and then he's trying to earn his stripes as a dramatic actor. Well, yeah, that happens to a lot of those comedy actors.
My main problem is I know Rumsfeld, he was far more of a ruthless bastard. In fact, I always thought he was more of a ruthless bastard than Cheney was.
Yeah.
And he came across as the jokey kind of secondary guy.
Yeah.
I don't think Rumsfeld was ever that secondary.
He was always joking around with the press, though, and things. He was always trying to be that guy that was, you know, straight talking. Of course. I mean, they all were. They were all power hungry. You know, and this is, in some ways, I thought, I was looking at a comparison between this film and Bohemian Rhapsody, which in some ways it's similar. It's a team that's getting put together to achieve a task, but it's a docu.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Comedy, maybe not so much with, but the difference with these guys is as personalities, they're potentially a lot less interesting. And I felt there's no rock and roll for a start. There's no drugs. There's nothing. There's no fun, basically. It's all just carnage.
But it's all. I mean, it's about Chaney. It's not. I mean, you can sideline the other characters pretty much. Otherwise, you'd have a fucking 5-hour film. And this is already too long, I reckon. This film,
way too long.
Yeah.
Is there enough to get kind of stuck into the character? Is there enough story to get stuck into the character of Chaney, though, or it sort of plays out of?
Dude, the character pieces, all you needed to know about Chaney were the fishing lure pieces and the catfish going through the thing, and the heart at the end. That's pretty much, outlined his character. He's a ruthless fisherman.
So I feel like a film like this,
and he's a family man.
And a family man.
I think
right?
a film like this owes us more than that.
Yeah.
Like I think it needed to go deeper into what with all the performers and everyone you've got there that are doing such a great job, and yet the film doesn't quite deliver on any insight, any real insight into the character that isn't just a kind of liberal political point of view.
Yeah.
No, because the director wanted to basically say, which was the longest bow I've seen drawn in a long time, Dick Cheney's responsible for the last 20 years of the horrible stuff that's happened in the world. Yeah, that's kind of the long bow he was drawing.
Yeah.
That, this Machiavellian figure.
And you can make that could be quite a true argument, but it's kind of... It's a pretty simplistic one as well.
Yeah, it's stunningly simplistic.
Sure. But then again, it is about... If they didn't do something like that, they're doing themselves a disservice. It's the film is about this guy, and they wanted to,
But they just missed out on a few little
points.
things. So I had a bit of a read. Like, it shows them very much as he's after the power, and the whole reason they went into the Gulf War the second time because he wanted to give his Halliburton mates money.
Well, that's clear. Yeah,
but he was actually in Bush Senior's cabinet.
Yeah,
when I was done, he was Secretary of Defense or something. So he oversaw the first Gulf War. He had a personal stake in it.
Yeah.
But I suppose he seemed to, in the film, there was that war. Son wants to follow daddy.
He did say in this Who is America show that Sacha Baron Cohen did that the Desert Storm was his favourite war.
Yeah.
So he's got it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. But there was no link to him in the First War at all, which I thought was...
But you have to kind of assume that if he was...
why would you assume
Chief of Staff or someone... He was in that cabinet.
His first Bush presidency wasn't even mentioned. Really?
He talks to H.W. George, the original Bush, as we could say, in a party. He's talking to him when George W. is there.
Yeah, but...
So you can see there's a link. You know that he was in that cabinet.
It's
pretty tenuous. Yeah.
Ooh, I disagree there.
Well, it might be asking for more from the audience in their historical knowledge of it as well.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah. I really liked the narrator gimmick. I had no idea where they were going with this. Who's this guy?
Oh, yeah.
Until the accident, as it were.
I didn't work it out. I think at the point that he was putting his shoelaces on, I worked out, I see what's going to happen now.
Same as
but
Merv, right?
I think it was, it was probably obvious
Not
before
me.
That.
Pretty stunned.
Just
got me.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, what happened
Just
there?
like the lady 2 rows in front of us.
She spilt some drinks.
She screamed. She absolutely
It's good.
screamed.
See what we're doing here, Shady. We're talking about the film without giving the spoiler away. I think
I almost did.
We're being really clever here, right?
It's the narrator.
Yeah, that was quite good though. Like you were saying, it's messy. Now I want to pick on that because it does jump around a lot. Like it starts in 1963, that's the nominal beginning of when he decides to change his ways because he's a pisshead and he's getting into fights in bars and things. And his wife, Amy Adams, says, you've got to decide what you want to do. Are you going to be this bum or are you going to do something with your life? So that's the kicking off point. Then it jumps over to the Watergate, where Rumsfeld and Cheney are in the halls around about. And then it goes up to 9/11, and they're all sort of mixed up, aren't they?
Yeah, covers a lot of territory.
It does. It's very vast and sweeping. Yeah.
Well, I guess by messy, one, it did jump around a lot, and sometimes I wasn't too sure. You know, you're spending the first little bit of kind of going, where exactly? All right, now I've figured out where we are.
Mm.
But it was also just the cute little, running the credits in the middle.
Yeah.
That was just...
Could it have gone? I mean, again, I don't mind that per se, but then it ran so fucking long. It was,
and that whole Shakespeare scene. Ugh.
You know what this film is? It's smug.
It is.
It's a little bit smug, and some of the humour kind of worked. Like, actually, I think I only thought one joke worked, and that was the through line of the heart attack through line.
Oh yeah, that was
okay. I've got to go to the hospital.
It's time to go to the hospital. But the other stuff, like the menu, the Republican policy menu and stuff, it was just so obvious.
Yeah.
What a waste of Molina.
It's almost, Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
It's almost making the sort of Mike Moore films look balanced, I think, in a way. But, which I like.
Well,
I do like Mike Moore's films, and it kind of made me think this is a kind of piss take almost of Mike Moore films with more, dramatisation in it.
I wasn't sure before walking into the cinema whether it was going to be a comedy or not. I purposely didn't look up too much there, so I was, I think it... But, I think the comedic parts is what didn't work about it, largely. And, what I would like to see with this film would be take the cast, these amazing performances and all the makeup, and do it more like a... what's the aeroplane one?
Leslie Nielsen sort of thing?
No, air crash investigations. Right? Right.
What?
Have your narrator.
I don't know what this is, so
Have
go
your
on.
narrator. It's just very sick. It has reenactments of air crash investigations where they go through the black box, but it's very factual. It's presented as a very factual...
They
without
dramatise
the
this?
jokes, and they dramatise it. I'd like to see this cast.
Oh, a bit like United 93, the fourth airplane.
Yeah, but it's got a voiceover that says, "But the team didn't know that the ailerons did have this problem," and so it's got a.
Okay.
I'd like to hear some factual narration about what happened when and maybe why it happened, and
Well, you'd leave that to Oliver Stone.
That's a doco.
Then.
It's more of a doco.
That's an Oliver Stone style film.
Dramatisation in it.
Okay.
Whereas this was something else. It was trying to be an entertaining film.
Well, this is the guy that did Anchorman and Step Brothers and these kind of...
Talladega, was it?
Yeah.
Talladega, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
He did The Big Short.
Yeah.
Okay, which I've not seen. But
which was more the style I would have liked to have seen.
Yeah, it was a similar thing where it jumped around and suddenly, breaking the fourth wall and all that. But that was a big...
Yeah.
That worked. I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, I thought that was a better movie.
Yeah, and because you hadn't quite seen it before, and it really was because it was such a dry, complex thing, the whole mortgage and all that. So you did need those weird little scenes where you had Margot Robbie, in a bubble bath telling you about mortgage practices or whatever it was.
So it's
things like that.
It's the same setup, the same style that he's used, is it?
But it's
was
just
Margot
so much
Robbie
better
in this movie?
Yes, yeah.
I'm thinking I get her mixed up with Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, she's in both.
Yeah,
she suddenly just pops up. Explain. I'm sure it's her. I can't remember.
Yeah,
It's been a while since I've seen her.
She's in that. Yeah.
But that one it worked. I think because it wasn't based on one person. It was a whole bunch of different characters who were kind of discovering what was going on, running around making a lot of money out of it, and you kind of then learned what happened. And you thought,
but that sounds like that style with a bunch of different characters sounds like it'd be really more messy than this film.
No,
doesn't it?
But somehow it works. I think
maybe they jigsaw together or something. Yeah.
I think it's almost like he wanted to purposely make a different film.
Yeah,
and so
I guess there's three groups of characters. Yeah, there's the Christian Bale guy who's in his office, the two young guys, I think, and then the old. Well, anyway, these three groups.
Okay, and Bale's in that one as well, right?
Steve
Carell's in,
it.
Steve Carell's in it. Bale's in it as well.
Almost identical team.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Almost nearly similar character.
And a similar kind of story in a lot of ways in the complexity.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see what works about this film as opposed to the other.
Do you guys think as Aussies that this was directed at Americans?
The end was.
That's what I figured at the end when he turns to the camera and he says, "You voted for me," and he's sort of directing it straight down the camera to the American public. That's when
Yeah.
I sort of thought, it's not this end for me, this film.
Yeah.
And that the close-up of the heart at the end would have been a perfect ending, I think. And you're saving, 6 or 7 minutes probably
Yeah.
there?
Diseased.
The diseased sort of dead heart, which is what they're trying to say about Cheney, that he had a dead heart all along, I suppose.
Well, I think
Could have ended there.
that's the nail in the coffin, really, for this
Is it?
this review. I mean,
It probably is. Yeah. I just wanted to mention about this unitary executive theory.
Yeah.
Let's get bored.
Yeah,
shall we?
yeah. Why not?
This is about if the president does it, then it's legal, whatever it is. I think that's the kind of that's in a nutshell. But in I'm going back to I'm not going to history. I'm going to a film in Frost Nixon, where David Frost interviews Nixon, which actually happened. Nixon says, "I'm saying that if the president does it, it's not illegal," and so he's already so that's happened in the 70s. I don't know if this is a new thing that.
I got the impression that it came more into the legal side of things with the Gulf
With Bush,
War, Gulf War II.
with all the rendition and all that sort of stuff.
Maybe, yeah.
Did you say Gulf War II?
Gulf
Like it's
War
a sequel?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Really? The Gulf War II? Fucking hell.
The first Gulf War and the second Gulf War, yeah. But, Cheney was there for
Yeah.
all the Nixon stuff, so that might have
So
been...
he might have been picking it up then. Thinking,
Yeah.
even though that was after Nixon had to resign.
Yeah.
Well, those interviews were a couple of years after that, but it seems like he must have got wind of it also.
But I did a little bit of reading as well, but the whole entire idea of it goes all the way back to the foundation of the Constitution. They were discussing it back then.
Right, which seems a bit of a nutty thing to do. It's basically despotism, isn't it? Like dictatorship. This guy can do fucking anything.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
Yeah.
Is that from E.T.?
It's a similar, I think that's Seinfeld. I remember it from Seinfeld.
Oh, really?
But I'm sure
Okay.
it wasn't.
That doesn't sound like E.T. does it? Yeah, right.
Any good liar will tell you that, I'm sure. But yeah, we already knew Cheney was an asshole.
Yeah.
Rumsfeld was an asshole.
Right.
Do we need a film like this?
Are they? Do you think it's a timely thing? Are they trying to say this guy was a prick, but look what we got now? Is it an anti-Trump thing as well?
It didn't really connect
No.
a
They
lot to the present.
They actually may have started this before the Trump stuff happened. So
Maybe.
yeah,
Yeah, but there wasn't really any lesson or anything that I got from it at the end. I think it was just...
we just what we know. But kids these days won't know about Cheney. It's been how long ago was that?
Well, maybe
15,
this is
20
what
years?
they're going to know today which is probably pretty close to what we all already thought about it anyway. We
Right.
just didn't need to make a film or see a film about it really to know that. So maybe it's serving some sort of purpose there.
It's either, this guy wrote it and directed it. It's his idea, I guess. But do you think he just thought, I've got some great actors I can call, and I've got a great idea. Let's get them back on board. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if I care.
No.
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't put it in the top 10 of the year, or not even the top 50, I'd reckon. Sadly. It was okay. I didn't hate it as I was watching it. Oh, and did you get bored, Rolly? Did you look at your watch?
I didn't look at my watch. I didn't get bored, but I probably did a bit, actually. If I think about it, did my mind wander?
Okay.
Yeah,
this is
probably
a
little
thing
bit.
we've just discovered, Merv. We were talking with Liam last week, and it seems like if Rolly doesn't notice himself getting bored, is that right? Or you don't notice yourself in the cinema or something like that, then it's not fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just hard to please in
to
the,
please.
in the
I've always
cinema.
caught- it's the watch test. If you start
Yeah.
looking at your watch,
Yeah.
film's too long. It's lost you.
Yeah, even if you start looking like 15
Yeah.
minutes in, it's it's true. Yeah. All right, well, guys, thanks very much. That'll do, I reckon.
Thank you, Shady.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers, Merv. Bye.
See ya.
We can make this work.
Hot damn.